Alright, so gotten all of our things done, all of our rows done. It'll wrap around my head finally. I stretched it a little bit so it will fit snugly around my head. And also I'm just gonna fold it here to give you an example of what it'll look like. There we go. So now we have this loose end and we're going to take care of that and learn how to finish or bind off. Finishing off or binding off in patterns is the same thing. So I'll show you how to do that, and then I'll show you how to gather this into this little nice knot. You don't have to make the knot. You could just sew the end straight like that and have it be flat, or you can have the knot, but I'm going to show you how to do the knot. Alright, so finishing off. Finishing off is really easy. You have this one live stitch, which means it's the one that's going. If this pulls out, you're going to unravel your work. So I'm going to keep it in. If you do unravel your work, I'll just do a little troubleshooting here. Uh-oh! Oh no. So we've got one loose stitch here and one loose stitch here. I'll just put my hook in here, stop this one from pulling out, and just finish pulling out that stitch. And then I'll just redo this last stitch. 1, 2. Perfect. Alright, so now back to finishing off. You just yarn over. We're just going to chain 2 and then cut our yarn. So chain 1, chain 2. I pull this through. Set the hook aside, grab your scissors, which you will need, and then you're going to leave for this. If you want to, usually you just cut at like 6 inches, but for this project, since we're going to be using the extra yarn to wrap around the middle, you want to leave more. So I'm going to do a couple feet just for fun. There we go. Then I'll cut it here. Perfect. Set aside my ball of yarn. Set aside my scissors. Going back to here. So we have this is where our crochet hook was. We're going to pull the end all the way through. And then this will tighten up these. So you just want to pull like this, and this will tighten and make a knot. And then this knot can still come loose, which is why I always chain 2, because if you use your fingers and pull down, you will get a more secure knot that ends right at the end. Perfect. That is what I like to see. Alright, so now you're going to take your large eye yarn needle that came with your kit. Grab mine over here. Boom. Alright, and we're going to put the end of our yarn right in here. If it's having a hard time going in or like fluffing out like this, what I like to do is fold it in half somewhere and then squeeze it so it will go through. Then you have it like this, and you just pull. I think that makes it a lot easier. Even with thinner yarns, it also works well. Alright, so now we're going to finish binding this off. So you'll notice that we have our beginning strand is coming off this side, and then our ending strand is coming off this side. What we're going to do is find the end chain of this row, and we're just going to put this yarn over in here and pull through and pull through and make that tight. And then we'll go over, I like to work from this direction because I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, you'll go the other way. And then I like to line up. This is our first row of chains. Look, your very first row of chains. And then the ending row of chains. We just pulled this through here. coming out this direction. Now we're going to move one over, boom, under the first chain that we made, or under the second chain that we made. And then the one that lines up with this is actually this one, not this one, because if you look, that's where it came out, 1, and then this will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's where it ends. So you want to be sure, because sometimes the beginning chains are wider apart than the ending chains, and you just want to make sure that they all line up. So we're going to do this again. Just 1 and 1, going this way, whoop, and then we're going to go back down this way. And then you don't have to pull it all the way through each time, because we're going to gather it. If you were just going to go straight across, I would recommend after every stitch to pull the yarn snugly like this, and then once you're at the end, it'll be nice just like that. It'll look like this joined. But and then let's look at it look from the other side. So here is the stitching from the other side. This is your active loop. It'll look like this. If you do not gather it, this is what it'll look like going across. And I recommend, if you do want it just a flat, to pull it snug after every stitch, because then you'll have a better idea of how snug it is, and it'll be easier to adjust once you get to the end. So through here, next one, next chain, and next chain here. But since we're gathering, my hook wants to play. Since we're gathering, you don't have to pull it tight each stitch. You can just go, we're going through. I'm not going to pull this one, come through the next one. And then not pulling all the way through, going up, going down. That one I pulled through just because it's getting close to the end of it anyway. And then you can so you can see that it's naturally going kind of like this. So I'm just going to make it kind of line up so it's easier to see where the stitches go. There. Here. Here. Last one. Nice. Alright. And for a final touch, because this yarn is coming out over here, I'm going to make this go out the turning chain, and that'll help make this side a little more secure. So I'm going to take the needle, or the yarn, off the needle for now. Set that aside for later. We'll need it a little bit later. And then this is the fun part. Okay, so we're going to gather this, which means all this loose yarn is going to come through. So this is our yarn we've been threading through. You can see it's kind of pulling through all of those stitches. We're just going to keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Alright, now we're getting to the gathering part. So this side is starting to come in. We're just going to gather like this. Oh, so cute. And then I like to take the starting yarn, and we're going to do a single tie like this and just pull tight. And that's the beginning of our middle. Look at that. And you can also look at it from the other side too, to see which side you like better, because sometimes you like this side, how it came out better. It kind of looks like a bow tie, and then this side also looks like a bow tie, but it's curling in. So now we're going to leave our shorter strand just to the side, and our really long one that we used, we're going to wrap around the middle and make the little gonna wrap it and make it look like this. So you want to wrap going around the middle, and you can kind of help tuck it as you're wrapping. You're just going to keep going over the same area, and the longer you made your middle part, the thicker it's going to be around the middle. So if you just want a little one like that, you can just stop right there too. I'm going to go ahead and keep wrapping because I like it when it has a little more of a bow in the middle. Alright, so now we've got this coming out here, which will just kind of, it wants to come out this way, but we're just going to kind of work it down that way. And we will. So now we're going to use our crochet hook and put it through one of these little areas here. And we're just going to pull this yarn through here, like that. That yarn will help that stay there. And then this yarn, we're going to tie to here. And I want the knots to end around that way. Perfect. Alright, so now, last thing, you can either put this in the large eye yarn needle, or you can use your crochet hook to pull it through underneath here. I'm going to use the crochet hook to go like this. Just want to kind of work it because it is pulled tight, and then pull through, and this will just hide your knot under here. And then you can just clip these ends because they're already knotted and they won't come out. Alright, and then the little tuft, you're just going to tuck like this. Perfect. Alright, so there's the front. And there is your completed head warmer. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I did. I just love teaching and I love being able to help people learn new skills. You've learned how to hold your yarn, you've learned how to make a chain, how to yarn over, how to make a turning chain, how to do all of the rows, how to troubleshoot if your rows are going too narrow or too wide, and how to finish a project, and also how to make a headband. And then you can also attach your button. Where's the button? Here's the button I have currently. It has brown yarn on it, which yours will have your yarn to match your project. But you could put your button here on the side, you can put it right in the middle. That's kind of cute. You could save the button, and you have enough yarn. You'll have this much yarn left, which you can make another one with. You could save that yarn and make it for somebody else as a gift, or you can make another one for yourself. There's just a lot of different possibilities. So you could put here. You could put it on this side like this. That's kind of fun. Anyway, it's up to you. Use your imagination and your creativity to make what you want to make. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and thank you for learning with me, and I will see you next time.